members of the working media, and welcome to the Capital One Orange Bowl Coaches Press Conference. Now, before we begin this morning, we'd like to remind you, the media, that a recording of today's press conference, along with the audio transcription, will be available on the College Football Playoff Media Portal shortly after we conclude. Now, once we wrap up here, both head coaches will be available for a quick photo opportunity in front of the Capital One Orange Bowl trophy to my left. In an orderly fashion, we will first allow video cameras in the back of the room to get their shots. After that, we will then welcome photographers to the front of the room to take their photos. Now, for tomorrow's game, media staying here at the Media Hotel are encouraged to take the police-escorted media shuttle to and from Hard Rock Stadium. A bus schedule is available in the credential office, and if you plan on utilizing the media shuttle, please return your parking pass to the credential office. Following the game, a post-game breakfast buffet will be available here at the hotel until approximately midnight. And lastly, all credentialed media are encouraged to join us tonight for the annual Capital One Orange Bowl Casino Night Media Party, taking place right here in this room this evening from 7 until 10. And now let's begin. Florida State, the home team for this game, as the Atlantic Coast Conference representative, comes in with a record of 13 wins and 0 losses. Champions of the ACC, this is Florida State's 11th appearance in the Capital One Orange Bowl, third most all time. The visiting team in this game, representing the Southeastern Conference, comes in with a record of 12 wins and 1 defeat. Finishing ACC East, the Bulldogs are making their 5th appearance here in the Capital One Orange Bowl and 2nd in the last 3 years. We will first welcome Florida State head coach Mike Norvell to say a few opening remarks, and then we'll hear from Coach Kirby.
Well, first off, just want to say thank you to the Orange Bowl and the Orange Bowl committee. The hospitality this week has been incredible. Whole experience for our players, an opportunity to come to work, to enjoy the time together, and it's really been a special week, and just so grateful for everybody associated with the bowl and just the way they've treated friends. It's been a wonderful week. This has been a special season. It's one that I'm proud of our team. I'm proud of the way that they have worked throughout the course of the year. The adversity that we face, the way they've responded to it. Everything building up to finish, as an undefeated conference champion was something that was truly special for us. Coming into this bowl game, have a tremendous opportunity. Some guys that will be getting more work than what they've had this season. Their opportunity, they get their shot, and to be able to do it against a wonderful team in Georgia that's so very well coached, got great players, very talented. It's be a great challenge for the team, but I'm excited about the opportunity, and guys have worked really hard. They've invested a lot, and a special season for us on and off the field, and just so proud of our players and the way that they've represented, and all of our players, past present, by the way that they've played and continue to respond to all situations. So we're looking forward to tomorrow and the game that's the game that's ahead. But you're definitely proud of our guys for the work that they've invested.
Thank you very much, Coach Norvell. Now, Coach Smart.
Yeah, I would reiterate what Mike said. Every time I've ever come to the Orange Bowl, and I've been here multiple times, the Orange Bowl committee, the staff members, the people that host the hospitality room, the guys involved with our players, Eric Palms, the CEO, they do a tremendous job of making sure it's first class. Everybody likes coming down here because of the weather, the beaches, and all the beautiful things you get. The energy for our is very enthusiastic. They've loved the work. They love being down here. About 20 or 30% of our team was in the same location. So when we got to the facility, it was very comfortable. We knew where we were. We knew what we needed to do, and we got to work on that. I have a lot of respect for Mike and his staff. We've recruited more and more against them recently as they've returned to prominence, and having grown up watching Florida State play, to a lot of their games. So I have a lot of respect, and I think it's great for college football when Florida State is always in the conversation. So his staff's done a tremendous job. They recruit in our state. We recruit in their state. Have a lot of respect for them, and looking forward to an outstanding game, an exciting game to go play in Hard Rock.
Thank you very much, Coach Smart. And now we'll open it up for questions now for both coaches. So we ask that, again, you please raise your hand, be acknowledged. A microphone will be brought to you by our staff. Please state your name, affiliation, which coach you would like to answer your question, and we'll begin our questions now. We have a question already.
Tom D'Angelo, Palm Beach Post. For both coaches, what is the solution to what's happening in college football, especially in the month of December? The way the schedule is, you guys have so many things on your plate to pulling you all different directions with transfer portal, with recruiting high school, with bowl game preparations. Could each one of you just, what you think the solution is to all this?
I mean, I'll just jump off. I mean, I think it is a challenging in the month of December, and I think the NCAA has taken some positive strides in a sense of creating a game, but it's great for the teams that are not playing the championship game. When you do play in a championship game, it just kind of it pours gasoline onto all the issues of what you have to do, and the experiences for the student athlete, but also the coaching staff. For us, I'm very similar for Coach their staff. We went into Sunday after the championship game, and still seeing where you're going to play and what that's going to look like. You have a short meeting with the players, and then we were on the road. Home visits. It really, they didn't get a chance to sit down and really spend that much time with our players once that was done, because you're into the next part of what the calendar offers. You get in a bowl season, transfer portal, all those things. It's hard for the players. It's challenging for the coaches. I think when you look at the time of the signing date, it really it forces a lot of decisions, at a rapid pace. But I think as we continue to evaluate and look at it, we got to be careful on all changes. We're quick to make changes, and then sometimes not always, even though coaches a lot of the times will talk about the ripple effect of what will happen. I think we really got to continue to evaluate that, and before we make these grand changes, that aware of the ripple effects to the calendar and really how it affects the student athlete, as well as the benefit of programs and coaches and efficiently and effectively being able to do the job to the best of our ability.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a perfect solution. I don't think anybody does. Back and kids be graduating at less of a rate. Maybe that's not important. We got to decide if they're student athletes or not, because what we're seeing is decisions are being made less on student athletes and on where they need to go and financial reasons with NIL and the portal mixed together. So there's a lot less decisions being made based on where a school starts, and you could push all this movement till January, but everybody's school starts at a different time. School starts at a different time. I don't think kids make their decision based on that. So when school starts in January, guys got to go decide where they're going. Signing the high school kids earlier and then going into the portal after signing the high school kids would certainly create a little less confusion instead of both going on simultaneous. You don't know what you have going in or out, and it's all happening at once. So I don't think anybody has a perfect solution, but certainly we're headed towards some tough times if it continues at this rate.
Okay, to our right.
Kirby Zach Line, Channel 2 in Atlanta. Two-part question. Do you have a status update for Brock? And then way down the road, when your grandkids ask you, what was it like, if this is his last game, what was it like coaching and his legacy at the University of Georgia? Yeah, his legacy is a tremendous athlete, great toughness. I've never seen a kid come back from a significant injury like that fast. Pretty remarkable, the numbers he hit and what he was able to do as he came back. He kind of changed the culture of the work ethic around, especially on our offense. To see him go out there and compete and work like he did for the 3 years he has been pretty remarkable. I mean,
he is a machine when it comes to practice. Doesn't get tired, works his tail off, and he set a standard that'll be there for a long time. I mean, he's affected Oscar Delp, he affected Darnell, he's affected the young tight ends, he's affected everybody on the offense in terms of how he practices. We'll see.
To the left.
Ira Schofel, warchant.com. Kirby, it's been a few years, but can you reflect on your time at Florida State, what you learned from Coach Andrews and Coach Bowden, and maybe how that helped you in your career?
Yeah, I was a defense coordinator at Valdosta State and decided to go be a graduate assistant, which people would say was a step down, but to be in a room with Mickey Andrews, Odell Hagens, Joe Kynes, Jody Allen, Kevin Steele, a lot of really good minds in college football. It helped shape me. Sitting in a staff room with Coach Bowden for 2 years, getting to see how he ran the team and how he commanded the respect of the team was really instrumental in my upbringing as a coach. 2 of the best years I had. I got a graduate degree from FSU and was able to be, 45 minutes from my hometown, and just a tremendous experience for me.
Question in the rear on the right. Or in the middle on the right. In the front on the right.
Jordan Hill, Dogs 24/7. Kirby, just how is Stacy doing, and who's sort of stepped up while he's been absent?
Yeah, Stacy was a little sick before the Christmas break, and we thought the break, I think we had 4 days, 3 or 4 days off, and we thought he would bounce back. And then when we got ready to come back to work the 25th, he was still struggling. So Ron had him check in. Feel like he's doing really well. He's moving around in the hospital now in Athens. Don't think he's going to make it down for the game. They don't want to move him right now, but he is up and moving and recovered. His wife, Trish, said he's ornery as hell, so she's having to deal with him. But he's got a wonderful wife and 2 daughters, and I know about. So in his absence, Man Ray, we put Man Ray on St. Honor on the field, and he's done a tremendous job. He's been an offensive line coach several places. He was over at Alabama for a while. He's a kid from North Gwinnett who grew up in a great football kind of system. So he's jumped right in and done a great job.
On the right.
Will McBroom, WVFS Tallahassee. Coach Norvell, obviously a lot of veteran players are not going to be playing in this game. How is that, though, translated into the younger players who are getting their first shot in some cases at major action? What has their attitude been towards having that opportunity for this game?
I mean, they're excited, and there's been a great buzz around the program because you work for opportunity, and that's what the greatest thing about football is that you never know when that moment's going to show up. You never know when your number's going to be called, but you got to be prepared for it. And so there's guys that are on this team that are make major contributions in this game that have been preparing for this for their entire life, and now for the chance to go showcase who you are, to be able to do it in the Capital One Orange Bowl against Georgia, who's been really the standard of college football over the last 3 years. I mean, that's been the elite level. This is their chance, and every player always wants more. Well, you work, you build. Sometimes it might not be the instant gratification that you want, but you push yourself to put yourself in a position when that time comes that you are ready. And I've really just appreciated the way that our guys have worked. I think we try to do a great job throughout the course of the season to continue to help the development of some of our younger players, some of those guys that might not be on that front line throughout the course of the year, and to prepare you for times like this. And we faced adversity throughout the season, and guys had to rise up, and guys had to be inserted throughout our journey of working to win a conference championship, and they were ready, and I'm definitely looking forward.
Second row on the left.
Matt Marshall, the Orlando Sentinel. Mike, what have you seen out of Brock, and what are your expectations going into tomorrow, and for having the last couple weeks of going through camp and everything?
Brock, I mean, he's a remarkable young man, and he's mature beyond his age. I mean, the way that he approaches practice, the way he approaches the meeting room, his excitement, and really just the charisma he brings, to the guys that are around him. First start being ACC conference championship. There was a lot on it, and really, this is his first week going into a game week, knowing that he was going to be the starter, because there was some uncertainty there, even in the championship week, and how practice reps kind of went. So I love his attitude. I love his approach. I think he's very talented. He's got all the characteristics you look for and what you want a quarterback to be. And he learned some lessons in that first game, and now it's an opportunity to go and improve and help those guys around him to go play it at the highest level that we possibly can. And he's got a great deal of energy and excitement for tomorrow. And like I told him, I mean, we just need him to go out there and be himself. And if he does that, continue to improve, continue to get better, learn from the experiences that he's had, I got great confidence in how he'll play.
Next to last row on the right.
David Hale with ESPN. Mike, you talk so much to your players about controlling what you can control and not letting the other stuff affect them. This past month has been a lot of things that are out of your control, starting with the committee's decision, certainly the opt-outs and portal stuff, up to the lawsuit being filed last week. Has this tested your resolve on that premise more than maybe any other time in your career?
I mean, I think so. I mean, when you sit there and you look at challenges that present themselves, I mean, we're in a wonderful place with a wonderful position. I mean, there's nothing to sit back and hold your head, or hang your head about. I mean, this team, they went through an incredible season, and from where we were 4 years ago to where we are now, tremendous growth, tremendous belief, just a wonderful culture and team that we get to be a part of. But the challenges have presented themselves. And, for us, it's, we always talk about that response. We talk about, the mindset of which you're going to bring to get control. And, ultimately, it still provides opportunity, which provides choice. And, that's where, the thing we've continued to hit with our guys and continue to hammer through this journey is that, whether you're a first year or whether you're in your last year, this could be a defining moment for you. And so go you have, try to block out all the outside noise and just continue to focus on your improvement and just being better than what you've been. And, there's been tough choices for guys to have to make. I saw our players in their journey, and, there's been, it was hard. There was a lot of them were hurt, in decisions of things that they couldn't control. But, ultimately, I believe in where, we're going to continue to build to through the experiences, right? And then, obviously just grateful for all that our players have poured into our program throughout this journey.
First row on the left.
Yeah, Mike Griffith from Dog Nation. Kirby, before this year, I don't think a number one team had ever dropped out of the top four on a final weekend. And there's obviously been a trend with a lot of players opting out, skipping the bowl game, and that opportunity to play with their teammates one final time. I don't think Georgia's had any opt-outs. Can you talk about the decisions that the guys made to play with one another and what went into building that? Sure.
Well, I think the leaders of the team kind of spearheaded that. I stay out of it. I met with each player that was draft eligible or seniors that are, have draft grades, and just spoke with them and very honest and talked to them, and then they had to make the decision with their family members, and they want to go out on top. They don't want their last Georgia outing to be what was the SEC championship, so they put their minds to it, and it was a little bit of a almost contagious deal. One guy did it, another guy did it, and they wanted to play. So certainly very proud of that. But I do think we're going to have guys get more opportunities in this game than we would have normally had just through the injuries, because we've had significant injuries and a lot of guys who have not been able to practice during the bowl run just because of the injuries coming out of the SEC championship. But I'm certainly proud of the guys that decided to, and they want to finish together, and I think finishing is important. I don't think enough people talk about it, and everybody says, well, this is what you should do, this is what you should do. I mean, the kids that love football, they want to play football, and it's the Orange Bowl. I mean, you got an opportunity to go play in the Orange Bowl, and that's not given to everybody.
On the right.
Chip Towers, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Kirby, where did you guys end up practicing yesterday, and what were y'all able to get in?
Got a little bit in. I'm not going to get into the details of all that. Got a little bit of a walk down that hotel, but it was rainy. It was wet and nasty all day, and we did not want to stay cooped up. So we had to move around a little bit and get out, and we'll do the same thing today. Get out, and it's going to be nice and cool, I think, around 65, 66. The first day it was really warm for our guys, and we tried to crank the heat up in our indoor back home, and got it up to like 75, 76, and it was warm on Wednesday here, and then Tuesday here, and then we got the rain yesterday.
Gentlemen.
Back on the depth chart, was it his versatility, his unselfishness to be able to, be willing to change positions for this game?
Yeah, Jakai he's been a great player for us, and a great playmaker. Just his years here in State, he came in, kind of in that dual role, being able to play running back, being able to play, you split out and play receiver. He's kind of transitioned more to receiver these last few years. Had a big game against Pitt when we really needed him, when Keon and Johnny were both out. But then, coming into this game, we've had running back positions kind of taking a little bit of a hit. Unfortunately, LT is not going to be able to play due to an injury that was had in the championship game, and so we had to make some adjustments. And Jakai he's so unselfish, and he cares so much about this team, and he does have a very versatile skill set in the things that he can do that allows him that flexibility. And so that's one of the things we try to look for in recruiting too. Guys that can do it all, because you never know what opportunity might present itself, and how we can showcase all the skills and talents that these guys have. And I think Jakai is a wonderful example of that.
Mr. Tim Reynolds.
Appreciate that. Tim Reynolds with the AP. Mike, how difficult, kind of a question in two parts. Is there still anger, or is it more of acceptance now that you like everyone says, you can control what you about the decision? And kind of to that end, will it be and has it been for you to accept that you're just never going to know what might have been? What might have been if Jordan hadn't gotten hurt? What might have been if the committee had given you a shot? Just how difficult is all that to accept?
No, it is. Those are all things outside of our control. But there will always be feelings about that, and I'll never get to say that's not real, because I'm going to always have feelings about that decision, and the things that I've had to to see the effect to our players. And there's guys that are not playing in this game, that have played their last game as Florida State Seminoles, and they gave everything that they had, in it. And there's, I think that's some of the hurt that they experience, that we experience, just from not getting the opportunity to go and to show that what we believe to achieve. But this has been a team of great resolve. This has been a team that has overcome adversity. I think when you sit there and a whole lot of people, predicted or expected, for us to go undefeated this year. You lose Jordan, and you have to play, one of our biggest rivals, to go and have our backup quarterback go down, and to go, have to win a conference championship. And the way that was done, it was just from the response. And I think it showed the heart, showed the character, of our team, and what we've built within this program. And we're still at the beginning of where we're going. And there are great days ahead here in front of this program. And but it still doesn't get it back for the guys that are playing in there, that they play in their last. Things you control. There's plenty of times in life, and I've told this to our team and to each of the players. There's going to be times in life where things don't go, the right way, or what you don't always receive. The reward for that, but you do control the response, and what you do with it, where you go, and the attitude which you bring. I mean, that's what's going to define the identity of what you have. So I know we're going to go out tomorrow. We're going to fight with everything that we have to go put our best on that field. And I'm excited we get to do it against a great opponent, a great staff that we get to compete against. And this is something that is going to continue to help.
In the rear.
Questions for Coach Smart. Allison Posey, WCTV in Tallahassee. I want to go back to your time at Valdosta State. Just maybe favorite memory of being a Blazer, but also how did your time in South Georgia, growing up in Bainbridge, coaching at Valdosta State, shape you into who you are today?
My favorite. I think we had a game there. We're down a lot of points.
31-7 first half. Good halftime adjustment, sir.
Are you playing then?
Yes.
That's crazy. 31-7. And I was like, I can't believe we came back and won this game. That was 2001 maybe, or 2000. I don't know when it was. But I had a great time at Valdosta State. It was a pleasure to work there. A lot of great staff members, cradle of coaches. Been a lot of good coaches come out of Valdosta State. Us to Arkadelphia, 8 hours, and then driving home, and you got home Sunday and you had to go straight into work because by the time you got home you had to start on the next game. But I learned a lot of football. I learned a lot about coaching. I enjoyed my time there, and that impact was probably cut my teeth recruiting because I knew the back channels and the roads down through South Georgia, and I'd grown up there, and a lot of respect for my dad as a high school coach. So I got welcomed into a lot of schools, and we signed a lot of really good players at Valdosta State from South Georgia.
On the right side.
Good morning, DJ Jones with Sports Visions. This question is for both coaches. At this time of year is very integral as far as getting the younger players more time to practice and develop. I'd like to hear each coach's philosophy or how you go about that.
Yeah, we try to get as many reps as we can for our young players. We've been fortunate to have, I don't know how many mid-years are in there, 14, 15 guys that have come in, not to mention the ones. So if we have enough people, we try to get 1s, 2s, and 3s reps throughout this time. There's times we can't get all the 3s in there because we're down a little bit, our other numbers and our health. But I love watching those guys play. And we try to balance out the reps because we feel like our 1s have had a lot of reps throughout the year. So we'll do a lot more periods with guys, almost an extra spring practice. And I think it's had a great impact on our program for the last 3 years to get these extra practices, even the extra game, after this one, the last 2 years, to kind of get those guys more prepared for next season.
Yeah, we very similar. We tried to take the first 5 practices, from the weekends after the championship week. During recruiting, we were practicing on those weekends and really kind of did them like developmental practices. Allowed our older guys that had played a lot. They got the individual work. They had some speed on speed, but really the focus was on those guys that didn't get as many reps throughout the year, and to help continue to build the fundamentals, the focus. To continue to build upon the concepts of what we do, and I thought it was really beneficial. And as decisions were made throughout bowl season, I think those practices were huge for us.